Hey everybody, Sarah at Nova, and we are just back after teaching our in-person electrical course this past weekend. It went great. Talked a lot about electricity. Inquiring minds inquired, and we had a good time. Reminder, you can rent our beautiful faces, Bailey and mine, for video conferencing if you want, for helps on your projects and stuff like that. Check our website. And then, lastly, this beautiful beast, 1979 CBX1000. Has been in the background of many a video. We did a video on it. It is finally up for sale, and it is ending. This goes on Thursday. It'll be ending tomorrow on Bring a Trailer, tomorrow afternoon. So if you ever want to own one of these, this is a very low mileage, 4,900 miles, I think. Low mileage bike, very original, pretty darn good shape. And as usual, the people on Bring a Trailer are very honest in their comments. So you'll have a very good assessment just by reading through all the comments and the 1,001 pictures we've put up of it, and as well as a handful of videos. So very excited to see where this ends up, what home it goes to. Definitely somebody who's very into these things. So what else we got going on this week? A couple of ones we've had for a while. If you're regular watchers, under the covers here is our Kawasaki Eddie Lawson replica. And it's getting a cosmetic makeover. We've been waiting on various parts for it, off and on, having stuff manufactured. The customer is very particular. We love and hate him, and so we're on the last push of it. Finally got some parts we've been waiting for, and we're going to get that buttoned up. We'll definitely have some video of that running when it's all back and shiny again. We got another Airhead here, BMW/6, or excuse me, R90/6. This is a customer who's got several BMWs, and we've been going through them, and each one takes something just a little bit different. It's kind of fun to have it's a slew of machines that are so similar come through, because we really get to look closely at the intricacies and the different failure points of them all. So this is getting a little electrical work, a little brake work, a fresh set of Avon tires, fresh fluids, and that's kind of about it, I believe. That should be getting out the door soon too. Behind me, another beautiful /2 classic, R60/2, I forget the year, in Dover white. Might be a repaint looking at that paint, but anyway, it's beautiful. Same customer as this /6, and one of many bikes, one of his many BMWs that he's having us go through. This one will have a little fabrication because we're going to fit a set of bags that's not supposed to be on here, and it's kind of hard to find some old luggage in the condition you want it to be. So we're just going to make up something that looks decent, fit that. And other than that, fresh set of Avons. This one actually needs new brake shoes, which are pretty hard to get. And the basic tuning beyond that, this one actually started pretty quickly when we first started working on it. What else we got? We got our Triumph T150, 1971. This one you've also seen in the background, and this is one we had that we were going to sell for a customer, and the customer has now changed his mind and wants to sell a different bike. So we're going through it, doing some of the work he had previously thought he wanted to do, just making sure it's really good to go for him for this season. And these are fascinating bikes to work on. It's amazing how different they are from the twins, even though they're so similar. So 99% of the components are the same, but it's just a different technology to add in that extra cylinder. So Kent's getting into this, going through the carbs, and we'll do a couple of things on this, and hopefully get that back on the road. And a beautiful CB77. Bailey will have a video on this one next week, so stay tuned for that. This is a restoration by a customer who is having us finish the details. I won't get into the details because you can watch Bailey talk about it, but this one is just about ready to go. We had a particular problem on that we finally found a solution for. And then today, the beauty of today. If the CBX1000 was Honda's muscle bike of the 70s, this generation of Hondas was the muscle bike of the 80s for sure. The V65, I just learned in the making doing research for this video, that the 65 nomenclature, this is 1000 cc, the 65 nomenclature refers to the cubic inches. I never knew that, and
this is our guess.
This is our guess. Because the V45 is a 750, that's awful close to 750 cc's, and the V35 was the 500 of this model, that's over 500. But our guess is that this was aimed at the American market, trying to appeal to people who are felt a little more manly, talking about cubic inches rather than metric stuff. But yeah, this is the same engine, if you recognize it, same engine as the Honda Magnas and very, very similar engine as the Interceptor. So the architecture is 100% the same. The Interceptor had different cams and some more sporty stuff. I'm not sure about the gear ratios, and obviously, once you come around this side, you'll see this is a shaft drive bike, and the Interceptors were not shaft drive bikes, being sport bikes. But so Honda sort of had the sport, the cruiser, and the standard versions, and the Sabre I would call the standard. Not quite as kickback a riding position as the Magna, and definitely not the forward clip-ons and rear sets of the Interceptor, but very much the same motor, very much geared towards speed, torque, straight line stuff. And this is this being an 85. This is the same. Actually, I believe this is the same year that the VMAX came out. 86 maybe, but I think it was 85. VMAX being Yamaha's V4 muscle bike, and sort of started an era of things that trace its. We still see with this starting point. We still see in bikes like the Harley V-Rod and even the Ducati Diavel. Bikes that are sort of made mostly for going straight, are a little bit more powerful than your average cruiser, have a crazy 0 to 60 ability, and really 0 to 140 ability when you get into the true muscle bikes. So yeah, very 80s stuff here. You got your twin discs, you got your cool lines in the rotors because 80s. You got the forward the leading axle on the fork. There's no anti-dive on these, which makes sense. It not being.
There is. It's on this side.
Oh, I'm getting corrected from the peanut gallery. Oh, there is. Look at that track. Yeah, okay. Anti-dive, which is very 80s. I was thinking because it was more of a standard bike, maybe it didn't have that, but maybe they all do. So that was a gimmick in the 80s that sort of worked. And what else? Discs on the rear. So you got triple discs. You got cast aluminum wheels. Twin spokes, really 6 spokes, but in pairs of so 3 pairs of 2. It's just 80s design styles, it's square headlight. Yeah, exactly. Plastic, plenty of plastic all over the place. You got a digital LCD readout, not LED, LCD, liquid crystal display. Very much 80s high-tech stuff. I had a digital watch that looked just like that when I was 10. It's great. So this is what passed for a computer in those days on a motorcycle. Very high tech for its time. Obviously fun and outdated now. So yeah, this era of machine is one that it's funny that my generation, I'm sort of late Gen X, early millennial. I grew up with these things, and so I never considered them to be nice bikes. But I noticed that people younger than me, to whom this is truly an old machine, think these are cool as hell. And it's sort of like, whatever you grew up with that was top of the line was when you were younger becomes like the thing you want, or the generation before you. It's hard to tell the math on it, but I've always not loved these things. I always thought, it's just a motorcycle, whatever. It's kind of plastic. It's kind of gross. And people go nuts over this 80s styling. And I've since learned to love it. As time passes, I squint a little more, and I'm like, yeah, I can see that. It's very period, very much of the 80s. I didn't really think motorcycles were cool until 1993, the CBR 900 RR. So that's where I started paying attention. But yeah, these are iconic for their time and definitely groundbreaking. These things were. Let's just Google some advertisings for the Magnas and the Sabres. They were super cool. Guys riding these things off into the sky. Just awesome stuff. Burning up the road.
Very quick. If you are working on these bikes, doing any type of carburetor work, be very, very clear on what information you're looking at, because between the Magna and the Sabre, the carb bodies are the same, the orientation is the same, but between the types of slides, the needles, the jets, the slide springs, super almost imperceptible differences between front and rear, because you've got a downdraft carb on the front and a regular one on the rear cylinders. So just make sure you got your details straight on that. That's one of my favorite parts about this bike. These carb jobs are so easy to get wrong, and they'll run okay, but when you want them to run perfect, and they're really fun. I love these bikes. I'm the younger person that likes the 80s bullshit. Get out of here. But yeah, just there's lots of information out there, but make sure you pay close attention to when these things come apart. That's all I got to say.
All right, spoken from the mechanic's mouth right there. Yeah, that's what more can I add? Definitely chime in if you've got experience with these things. A lot of people had Magnas growing up. Not always the 1000cc bike. This was the big hunger. And I said Magna. This is a Sabre. I know more people with Magnas than Sabres. I've only seen a couple of these over the years where I've seen tons of Magnas. But they're both really similar. If you have experience with them, let us know. As much as I don't love the styling of this bike, the first time I got on a V4 Honda blew my mind, and I would still hands down say it's one of the coolest motors ever designed. They're just the torque and revving capacity is amazing. No matter how much I don't like the styling, I still would love to ride one of these all across country. If you have experience on these, let us know. You have thoughts about them. If you, like me, have a hard time with 80s styling, let us know. And as usual, thank you for watching. And if you haven't yet, helps out if you subscribe to the channel. Thanks.